We believe that our own government has kept this from us, teaching us in textbooks and histories, and even at the first landing site, the cross site, it doesn't say why the cross is there.
Hey guys, Alex Newman here with The New American. I'm standing here next to Don Blake. He's the head of the Virginia Christian Alliance. That's the kind of the umbrella organization that is putting on this First Landing 1607 meeting that's been quite extraordinary so far. Don, welcome to the program. Thank you so much. Talk to us about why you felt led to put this on. What's the significance of 1607? What's the significance of this place that we're standing? Why did you do this?
Well, first of all, Alex, I'm a native Virginian, and I didn't even know about this site down here until last year. We came down here for an event last year. We did a service out here, and I started learning all this history. But one of the three originators, Jack Stagman, had a vision that we need to go back to origin, and we need to bring Virginia back and America back to God. So we talked about it and said, this is kind of a big deal. How are we going to do this? So we... People said you can't do this. It takes you a whole year to do it. We started in January trying to get a place to do it. And it took us several months to get that worked out. We reached out to the governor and some other people to try to help us. We didn't get any help from the government at all on this. However, we got help from people in 5 different states, said we want to help you. And so this team of 5 leaders came together, and we put together this program. Mainly a couple of people who have the technology ability and the skills to do this did it from a long distance. So we met by Zoom for months before we ever actually met as a team in person. That was down here at Virginia Beach just maybe 6 or 8 weeks ago. And this all came about because we believe that our own government has kept this from us, teaching us in textbooks and histories, and even at the first landing site, the cross site, it doesn't say why the cross is there. So the more we learned about this, the more convicted we became to say we need to tell the public. So it's several things. One, to reconnect and covenant with God, which we did that today down at First Landing, and then to educate the public. So it's a twofold thing: in praise and worship, and reconnect, recovenant, and then tell the public about this. So today, this went out in 72 different languages, live streamed in 72 languages. It's amazing. How do they do this? I mean, I'm an old guy. I don't know how to do this. But they do. These young people know how to the technology. And you saw the graphics in there. This was all done by people talking on computers back and forth and saying, what do you think of this? Take a look at this. It's amazing what's happened. In 4 months, since January, when we first said, let's do this, in 4 months, here we are on the 26th day of April, 2023, putting together this event here. It's totally a God thing. And so when God is leading you, and it was all providential, He led us to one person, to another person, to another person. Even as late as 2 nights ago, we got a phone call from a lady who said, I will come down and do photography for you for free. I'm a professional. And so she's down here, and she signed a contract with 000, no cost. Everything that she's taking belongs to us. And so we'll have all this on the website. And so our goal is to have the best website on 1607, April 27th, not 29th, the period there, the history of all this. So we're going to go back 400 years and say, okay, what did they do 100 years, in 200 years? And then subsequently after they've done a lot of events in here, but they don't make the newspaper. Mm-hmm. President Hoover was here in 1931. Well, we heard about that. And so we checked with the president's life. He was here. He didn't speak. He came as a private citizen. The president of the United States came as a private citizen. And now, I don't think at this event tonight, well, all day long, we've had one elected official. Not one elected official has responded to an invitation to actually be here in person. So it's like our own government is not recognizing this. The cross down there, it says April the 26th. Well, that's the day they came right in here to the bay. Doesn't say anything about why the cross is there, or even the day the cross came there, which was on the 29th. Nothing about the covenant, nothing about Robert Hunt. I mean, so this history has been held back from the public since 1935 when the granite cross was installed. So we are saying this is wrong, and lots of grandparents or parents, and and so we want to make sure that people have an opportunity. And that's what our goal is to make people aware of this and say God did claim this country. This was a Christian nation from the beginning. President Obama said this is not a Christian nation. It was and it is. We just have a remnant left, and that remnant has to speak up and tell the rest of America about this. And our goal is to raise a lot of money so that we can actually affect down here with maybe a new site that's a public site that actually, the fort. Have you been to the fort?
I wasn't able to go today, no.
We had difficulty today, even though we had 120 names turned into the military to let us in. I had to get out of the car and talk to one military police, and he said, "This is my boss, talk to him." The boss listened to me and said, "Okay, just follow this car in," and the caravan began. That was amazing. And so we had government saying you can't come in here, and then we had somebody saying, "Okay, we can come in here, and you're going to let us in," basically. And they said, "Okay, you can come in here. Just follow this guy," So that was amazing. Yeah. So everything's been providential. So how do you turn against doing something when you have the ability to do it? Plus, you have a supernatural God up there saying, "I'm going to help you out on this thing." It's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. And you managed to get incredible speakers here. You got Michelle Bachmann, you got Glenn Beck, you've got Reverend Bill Cook, you've got Brother Altman, Father Altman, just a huge
Bill
array. Oh yeah, Bill Federer, superstar. So tell us a little bit about the Virginia Christian Alliance. Actually, you organized a talk for me in Richmond some years ago, you and some others. I'm very grateful for that. Obviously, you've been doing a lot of good work here, but what is the Virginia Christian Alliance for the folks who aren't familiar with it, and how do they get involved if they're in Virginia?
vachristian.org is the website. We are unapologetically Christian, biblically world-based, and we have no paid staff. We have an office space that'll hold 70 people for meetings. We have 5,000 people a year, at least that many, go through our front and back doors. So we do a lot of education. COVID stopped some of this, and so now we're ramping back up again. But we've had thousands of people go through training, from the Constitution to education, which you did. Our goal is to make people aware and try to bring people up. We started. Get them engaged. We started working on the churches. The churches denied us. They denied us. And so they would just turn their backs. We were too radical for them, too biblical for them.
Too biblical for churches. That's
the truth. And they don't want to get in politics. Well, everything in life has some political background.
Especially nowadays. Everything's government involved.
They are. The government's on it back. In fact, our organization has been banned. We're on the hate list, and we have no paid staff. And it's like a full-time job for me, but I have a business that helps me out. But we were found by the Southern Poverty Law Center about 8 years ago to be a hate group. So we're on the national hate group list. All right, with that over years...
You're in good company. You got some great people there. American Family Alliance, Family Research Council.
We do. But we have no money. I mean, we depend on just some minor donations, to do this. But we have, that has led to other things. BB&T Bank canceled our credit cards and our checking account, gave us 30 days to clear out the checking account that we don't follow their policies. But that's about all we got. No explanation. I got a letter say we're closing your accounts because we can.
Wow.
And so this is, that's equity and diversity thing, and we don't fit in that. So here they are. They're coming after Christians. Well, okay, well, all this is kind of like a badge of honor. Okay, it means we're doing something with no paid staff. I mean, no paid secretaries. My company, I can go over there where they are and ask them to, type this up for us, or scan this in, or whatever. And so we have a lot of favor from friends, but we don't have any favor from the secular world at all. I mean, they're against it.
Probably a good sign. Huh?
It's a good sign.
Don, how can people find out more? What's the website, first for the First Landing, and then also for the Virginia Christian Alliance? How can people find it?
It's really easy to go on there. First Landing, all one word, 1607.com. And then the Virginia Christian Alliance is vachristian.org. vachristian.org. Yeah, we send out newsletters. We send out a lot of information. So that's where we are. We're doing a lot of education to the public, and people like it. We have like a 20% open rate on the email newsletter.
Wow.
That's what the web guy tells me.
Well, hey, you guys are doing great work. Don, thank you so much for all you guys are doing. Thank you for inviting me.
Okay, Alex, I'm so glad you're here.
It's an honor to be here. All right, folks, Alex Newman for the New American. Thank you for watching. We'll catch you later.
Sophia paused before the door. It read, Department of Bidigital Convergence. Just inside was a new world, a better world, the one of everlasting life, of no pain, of no loss, of no problem. She entered the chamber and her surroundings changed. She saw around her an infinite field of waving golden grain surmounted by cloudless blue sky. The AI voice whispered gently in her mind, Welcome to the singularity. She couldn't see it and couldn't feel it, but her body had almost instantly been covered by a swarm of tiny gray multi-legged bots that melted through her clothes and into her skin. Not perceiving the nightmare, her eyes had already been consumed and the rest of her body was dissolving as the bots digested her flesh. She felt only a warmth suffusing her being. Drowsy, she drifted to sleep, and her last thought was one of panic. Would she ever wake? Could a nightmare vision like this be an outcome of the much-hyped transhumanist technological singularity? Enter the world of the future as illuminated by the experience of the past in Endgame, the new book by Dennis Barrett, the publisher of the New American magazine, and find out how the disastrous COVID pandemic response fits with the technocratic elite's thirst to create a transhumanist utopia. Get Endgame from shopjbs.org with free shipping with code ENDSHIP, ENDSHIP. Or get Endgame and the Great Reset Collector's issue of the New American magazine and get free shipping plus an additional 20% off both with code END20, END20.